Think you got it all figured out? These mistakes here are the silent killers of your coaching business and could be the reason your coaching business isn't thriving the way you hope. Well, in this video here, I'm going to share with you the 3 mistakes that coaches make that really hurt their business. So watch closely to see if you're making any of these. I once heard a story about an individual who was asked to go and give a speech, to give a talk on stage. But prior to that, he was an individual who was really reading his own press clippings. He was believing everything he was hearing about himself. And really thought himself to be much bigger than what he truly was. And when he was called to speak on stage, he felt he was like a peacock. Literally, he had his shoulders out, head up, really felt that he was above the world. And when he walked on stage and he got in front of the microphone, when he opened his mouth, no words came out. And when he tried again, no words came out again. And he was dumbfounded, and because he could not remember what his speech was about. And when he tried one more time, no words came out. He humbly held his head down, came down from the stage, and went and sat down and took his seat. And when he did, his mentor came and told him, "Hey, if you'd have went up stage the way you came down, you could have came down the way you went up." See, that's what happens when we begin to read our own press clippings. That's what happens when most people, begin to write their own press clippings. You may have clients telling you, "Man, you really helped me. You really transformed my life." And when you hear this over and over and over again, you can begin to believe it, not to the point that you didn't help them, but believing that you're your own hero, right? That now you're the man or now you're the woman, right? And your head gets puffed up and arrogant to the point where you can no longer be the coach who you're called to be. And what happens, you typically begin to make these 3 mistakes I'm going to share with you right now. So let me share my screen with you and dive into this much more deeply. Now, and here's the deal. I can share this from personal experience, these mistakes I'm about to share with you. So I know firsthand how real this is. And what happens a lot of times when you read the press clips, when you feel your britches are too big, like the old school folks used to say, right? You're a little too big for your britches. What happens is this. First thing you do is that you begin to isolate yourself, right? See, you begin to create this divide mentality, this division mentality, where now you feel that you are the guru and you're much bigger than your audience, right? That your audience, that you no longer can relate to your audience. And you feel like, man, I should be someone who should be worshipped now. I'm awesome. I'm amazing. And what happens is you begin to alienate and cut off the very people who you should be connected with, the very people who you should be becoming one with. But since you read the press clippings and you should begin to write your own press clippings, you begin to think, I'm the man and I'm the woman, and you should be serving me. So you divide yourself and isolate yourself from those who you should be serving. The second biggest mistake that people make is they begin to ignore. They begin to ignore. By ignoring, I mean they begin to distance themselves, right, to a point where you're no longer reachable, where your audience can no longer reach you, right? They can't communicate with you anymore, right? They got to go through 1,000 channels, 1,000 doors, or all these different hoops just to be able to contact you, because now you lost contact for where you used to be. And what happens is this. When you begin to ignore, when you begin to distance yourself and from others, where they can no longer speak to you, they can't touch you, they can't hug you, they can't get a picture with you, they can't just have a regular conversation with you anymore, because now you feel that you are too important, right? That you are all this and you are all that. What happens is a barrier is created. And this barrier is created and begins to undermine your trust, engagement, and also your long-term success. Hey, it's Chris Harold, and really quick, I want to invite you to our Be a Better Marketer Challenge. The number one problem you face today in your business is not that you don't have enough money. It's not that you don't make enough offers. And it's not that you don't have the solutions to people's problems. The number one problem you face today is that you don't know how to market in a way that produces the results that you want. It's a fact. You can't make sales without knowing how to market. And once you be a better marketer, you can grow your following and make more offers that get you sales and clients consistently. During the Be a Better Marketer Challenge, you will discover the art and science of marketing and how to uniquely apply it to your personality and strengths, so you can easily separate yourself from the massive crowd online, all looking the same, all sounding the same, and unfortunately all getting the same mediocre results. And when you join the Be a Better Marketer Challenge as a VIP, it also comes with a 10 times better than money back guarantee. That means that if you don't believe it was worth 10 times what you paid for it, I'll give you your money back. And you're gonna keep the bonuses that we sent you when you signed up for the challenge. So go to beabettermarketerchallenge.com and get your ticket today. You'll be so glad you did. I can't wait to see you on. And the third mistake, my friend, the third mistake that happens is that you begin to insulate. You begin to insulate. And by insulate, I mean that you begin to disconnect yourselves, right, from reality. I mean, truthfully, you begin to disconnect yourselves from other coaches, other people, right? Because what happens is your mentality has really based off of limited beliefs where no longer you won't even connect with other like-minded people because your limited belief will cause you to see them as competition. So you don't have a collaboration mindset anymore, right? You have this insulated mindset, and the Bible talks about this. You know, the Bible says that it is not good for man to be alone. Now, this word man is not talking about males, right? It's talking about mankind. So it includes you ladies as well. So, but what can happen, you can begin to separate yourself and have these limiting beliefs where you want to even find people in your niche that you can develop strategic relationships with, strategic partnerships with, right? And you can begin to grow your business together with them because of limited beliefs. And you start seeing everybody's competition. You start thinking, oh, these folks are trying to take my top spot, right? And that mentality would have you to create your own island. You know, it's a reason. It's a reason why God called us and created us to be interdependent of one another, right? Because we cannot fulfill our purpose separate from one. There's no one on this planet who can fulfill their purpose separate from one another. You can do the very thing you call when you isolate yourself, when you ignore others, and when you insulate yourself. Because God has made us to be interdependent of one another. And when you're not in that position, you're not even fulfilling the will of God anymore. And what you will notice is that actually it's just like a phone. It's just like a computer. Things will begin to not function. Things will begin to malfunction and not do the very thing that it was designed and created to do in the first place. Because we were created for connection, right? And so I hope this makes sense. You know, the Bible talks about pride comes before destruction. And I know from personal experience that I can remember a couple of years back when I had my very first taste of mega online success, right? I remember when I hit 6 figures in less than 2 months in my business. And that was the first time I ever generated that amount of revenue in such a short period of time, right? And I can remember, you know, doing 40, 50, 60K a month consistently and begin to allow that to make me feel superior, right? To where those who are not doing that make me feel, you know, put myself in a guru category, right? Mentality wise, where I saw myself begin to isolate myself from others. And I also saw myself, you know, ignoring others and distancing myself from others, where others couldn't even just have a regular conversation with me anymore, right? And what happened was I created my own island where I insulated myself and I separated myself from others. And you know, and I disconnected myself when God created you and I for a connection. And God has a way of humbling all his children. And God had to humble me and open my eyes to the very things that I'm sharing with you right now, because I don't know where you are right now in your journey in your business right now, but take it from personal experience. You don't want to be humbled by God, because God will humble you way better than what we can humble ourselves. So if you found value from this, let me know. Type in the comments right now what you found most valuable from this. And if you can relate to this, if you are guilty of making these mistakes, type in the comment right now what you are guilty of, right? Or what maybe you've done some things in the past, right? Maybe you've experienced some of those things, right? And you had to go through some humiliation or a humbling process to be restored again. thank God that he is in the restoration business, right? Because he did restore me as well. And so, but yeah, hopefully you found this valuable. Let me know in the comments, right? Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, do all the good YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, click on it, click the bells and ring the bell. Click the bell, do all the good YouTube stuff as well, my friend. And so so that way, when I upload something new, you'll be notified as well. So make sure you just subscribe and ring the bell and leave your comments below as well, my friend. If you found this valuable, share this with someone else as well, my friend. So hopefully you enjoyed this, my friend. Until the next time, remember this, put God first in all that you do, and you too shall succeed. Peace and God bless.